Guten Morgen. So I will say I don't know why I'm up this early. The chickens don't know why I'm up this early. I'm still not feeling great, but I do feel productive-minded. So thought I would work on something that seemed like a quick project that I found the other day, which is putting together this roofing thing where I have no idea what it was bought for or what it was originally intended for. And to be 100% honest, I think this is something that came from Caleb, but I found it. I'm going to put it together and I'm going to install it here. And I'm going to be working here for my goals for the day. So theoretically, I have a mic that I can work with now, and you can hear me. And what I'm going to share with you is that I have not been sleeping well recently. And There's just a lot on my mind, and I used last night to be productive I've had this wireless mic for a while now, but I did not know how to work it, and because of where it came from, it did not have instructions, and I combed the internet last night to find the instructions for it. And based on some lovely, helpful YouTubers, I was able to source the information that I needed. And I'm actually feeling a lot of gratitude for that this morning, or today. And yeah, so as you can see, I am putting in windows today. I'm feeling kinds of ways about it. Normally putting windows in is something I dread, but in a world of being over-prepared, I have also long ago prepped and squared these frames, so theoretically we could just pop them right in. And based on how the first one went in, up a little bit. So I'm gonna get the second one in and share some thoughts with you. All right, I had to see what that potentially was gonna look like. Unfortunately, I think it's short, 6 inches in length to cover this little area, but it's not a huge deal. It does remind me of all of the things that I've been finding as I've been resorting and decluttering our life, and all of the things that we've bought over the years and we've tucked away thinking, oh, well, once this project is done, this will be the perfect thing to use or have or utilize for this area. And with the projects not getting done, it's just stuff's collecting. And it's been really nice in the last couple of weeks to have those types of things that are to add quality to our life, be a practical presence. And there are, but I will also say that things are things and that doesn't matter. What does matter is that we're happy and healthy and we're sharing love together. Like those are the big things, but the other things that just complement life to make it easier are, well, they're nice to be able to have. But I do want to move on to something sort of bigger, and it's the idea of, I don't know how many other people are doing this systems reset with their own version with me of what obstacles that they're using to pause and to reframe to see what is and is not working. I, as I've mentioned, have not been sleeping well recently, and that's coming off of a period of not feeling well recently. And between the two being back to back, I have been feeling a little deflated, and I've been feeling those things of, well, what if I don't get these projects done? Is this system's goal, aspect, aspiration sort of null and void? And today, what has been a big driver for me is dreaming. I've been daydreaming a lot, and I talk a lot about the porch, but this is also a space in our house that it was one of those things that I looked at immediately when we were looking for what to buy, and it looked like crap. It was worn down. It's just not a functional living space. But by looking at it, there was something like I could see this picturesque view of the river and the forest and the area on our property with all of our landscaping. Like I could see us sitting in here and cuddling on a couch or playing video games or decorating a Christmas tree and playing Christmas music or having our piano in here and just feeling whole. And I'm feeling a little emotional because that dials into this anxiety of, mental health, and the idea that you feel like you're broken and you're not whole, but you think of these situations that will make you whole. Like, if this were to happen, then I will feel better. And this space is one of those spaces that hosted a lot of that daydreaming for me. And so to just generalize the topic, today, I still see that dream. It's something that has driven me in the aspect of I do not like putting in windows. I feel stress about it for whatever reason, and I can be prepared and I can know how to do it and I can read my instructions and be familiar, but when it comes down to it, I just don't like doing it. And it's mildly stressful, but to get through that I focused on something positive. I focused on a dream that is like warm and loving and center to the core of one of my principles of I love engaging in being in a coupleship. I love that cozy feeling at home with my husband. And it's slow and steady. And I don't know how much of this is actually in shot, but if you look at this, it still looks pretty crappy. And it will look crappy all winter long because once a lot of this interior stuff gets done, the outside of the house needs a fresh coat of paint, and it's gonna look like a bunch of different wood colors and fading and old trim and new trim and old paint. So aesthetically, the house is gonna look like it's dilapidated. But inside, I think it's important that we engage as a family, that's what's going to feel a whole lot different. By changing our environment, I'm going to be able to at least capture part of that dream, and it's not going to make me feel whole. Achieving that dream is not going to make me feel whole, but what is going to put me on a pathway towards close to that feeling is having a system around me that is working with me and for me rather than something that I'm constantly fighting all the time. So I'm just going to boil this all down to the idea of what are your drivers? They don't always have to be the same thing, and they can be different things in different situations. Today, for me, it was daydreaming. Let me know what some of your drivers are for sharing inspiration. Remember to grow from where you are, and I'll share more with you soon. Tschüss. Tschüss.